Lando Norris isn't the first, and he won't be the last driver to feel the pain of a maiden Formula 1 win slipping away. And as heartbreaking as it was to see Norris lose out in Sochi, especially after he'd controlled so much of the race brilliantly, there are a few silver linings that can give Lando comfort going forward, and it feels like only a matter of time before he takes his first win in Formula 1. Norris has arguably been the standout driver of the season in 2021, and he might even feel that there were other opportunities for wins that got away earlier in the season. He was left kicking himself after losing a front row in Imola due to track limits, in a race where he eventually finished in third place, and he hinted in Monza that he might have had the pace to challenge teammate Daniel Ricciardo for the win had the team allowed it. For the first half of the season, he was almost single-handedly fighting McLaren's battle against Ferrari for P3 in the Constructors' Championship, taking an unlikely third at Monaco and another in Austria after a qualifying lap that was only fractions from Max Verstappen's pole time. These performances have made it clear that Norris is a top-tier driver, and he hasn't looked out of place battling with Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton when he's had the opportunity to do so. His performances up against teammate Ricciardo have also been impressive. The Australian is no slouch. He's a race winner who could go toe-to-toe with Verstappen at Red Bull, so to see Norris comprehensively outscore and outpace him throughout the year has been a real shock. In fact, Norris has been so good this year that it was really no surprise to see him take pole at Sochi and then comfortably lead the race. He's consistently looked like a maiden Formula 1 winner in waiting. The outcome in Sochi was clearly and understandably devastating, but Norris is still in his early 20s and this is only his third year in Formula 1. He's improved in every season so far, going from a consistent point scorer in his first season to a podium finisher in his second season and now a top tier driver in his third. And at the age he is now, he is absolutely nowhere near his peak, with at least over a decade left in the sport ahead of him. And having come close to victory in a McLaren that isn't the best car on the grid, all he needs now is the team to deliver him a car capable of winning races regularly, which they aim to do in the future. McLaren themselves have been on an upward curve in recent seasons, going from a dismal 9th place in 2017 to 6th and then to 4th and now to 3rd. They've invested in the facilities at their headquarters, they've got new faces in the cockpit and on the pit wall, and all of this has rejuvenated their fortunes with a full title challenge in their sights for the future. There's genuine optimism within the team that they can return to their past success and sooner rather than later. And when they do have a race-winning car at their disposal, Norris has shown that he's a driver who can extract the maximum potential from it. And if McLaren aren't able to deliver Norris a top car in the future, you can be sure that the other top teams will be interested in Norris's services in the future. Not only is he quick on the track, but he's a highly marketable driver off of it as well, making him an attractive option for any of the teams up and down the grid. And as I said at the start of this video, Norris is far from the first driver to lose a maiden win in dramatic and heartbreaking circumstances. Charles Leclerc has given his sympathy to Norris, knowing the feeling all too well from losing his first victory in Bahrain in 2019 due to a late engine issue. And then he was also passed late on by Verstappen at the Austrian Grand Prix before going on to win back-to-back races in Monza and Spa that season. Kimi Raikkonen looked on for his first win in the French Grand Prix in 2002, but he slid wide late on oil and handed the win to Michael Schumacher. At the Monaco Grand Prix in 1984, both Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna felt they could have won their first race, but Mansell had a crash while leading early on, and Senna had a chance to win had the race not been stopped, which gave the win to Alain Prost. That was if his Tolman car would have lasted the distance, that is. And there's so many more examples. Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, Jacques Villeneuve and many others all suffered misfortune before going on to take their first win in the sport soon after, and many of them going on to win world championships. But the point I'm trying to make here is that to lose a win in heartbreaking circumstances, you first need to be good enough to put yourself in a position to be winning the race in the first place. So many of the great drivers in the sport have had to pick themselves up and bounce back from these kind of disappointments. And Norris now has all of that added experience under his belt. He's put the car on pole, he's led a race, and he's now had to learn how to deal with losing a victory late on, all of which will help him down the line in his Formula 1 career. Having reflected on Sochi after the race, Norris showed his maturity by saying the result will make he and the team stronger for the future, with the knowledge that he controlled the race up to that point and lost out due to a combination of luck and experience. The best thing that Lando can do now is to put the result behind him and channel his determination into the next opportunity to take that maiden win. And based on what we've seen from Norris so far this season, I imagine it won't take too long until he puts this video completely out of date and he takes his place on the top step of the podium. And when it does happen, it will probably be the first of many. It would be great to get your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe for more content from Formula Pulse. As a new channel, it really does mean the world to us.